from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though. I want them to see the whole.
Coming up on UCF Nightly News. More than 1 week after Hurricane Maria hit the island of Puerto Rico, residents continue to face devastation. How one UCF professor is working to get supplies to the place she once called home.
Plus, some Knights are raising awareness about suicide prevention. How students are spreading hope across campus, one flag at a time.
Also ahead, Sunrail officials are looking into more safety measures after pedestrians were killed in a number of recent train crashes.
And in sports, why some NCAA basketball coaches are under investigation.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Hakeem Dixon.
And I'm Chris Hargrove. Today is Friday, September 29th, 2017. Puerto Rican officials say many people still don't have power, and food and other necessities like medicine are scarce. One department at UCF is encouraging students to help. Dr. Maria Santana, Director of Women and Gender Studies at UCF, grew up in Puerto Rico. She says she had to do something to help, so she asked people on Facebook to donate to her department. Santana says she hopes the donations help those in need.
I fear for women, with 5 and 6 children. I fear for old women in a nursing home without air. So I am always more fearful for the poor than the wealthy.
Santana says because of students and professors' generous donations, she's dropping items off at the Puerto Rican Association almost every day. Donations will be accepted through the end of the month.
After Hurricane Maria, businesses are partnering to help animals in Puerto Rico. The stores are asking members of the Orlando community for their help. Nightly News reporter Tiffany Thompson has more on what the neighboring businesses are doing in an effort to save the animals.
Pet Supplies Plus on Alafaya is currently accepting animal food and monetary donations to send to the Humane Society in Puerto Rico. UCF student and employee of the store, Matt Bowles, says he is watching the Orlando community and the UCF community come together.
There's a lot of people and animals that are in need of help that don't have the opportunities, the avenues to ask for help or to get the help themselves that they need.
Bowles says the store's customers, which mostly consist of UCF students, are crucial to the cause. Manager of Pet Supplies Plus, Robin Garvey, says she hopes to use the family atmosphere that surrounds her store to help Puerto Rico.
We live by our reputation. We're proud of what we're doing in this location at this store, so we don't give nobody false advertisement, basically. We will help those animals out.
Garvey says all donations are wanted and they will not turn any help away. Other businesses, like the UPS store next door, are helping in a big way. They are offering to cover 40% of the shipping costs to get the supplies to Puerto Rico. Manager of the shipping store, Adam Mafia, says this is not the first time the pet store and his store are working together.
During Harvey, we ended up just doing a shipment for them and we all just kind of ate the cost.
Garvey says she is thankful for the partnership her store has with the UPS store. Reporting in Orlando, Tiffany Thompson, UCF Nightly News.
The pet store is accepting donations until tomorrow before shipping them to the island. Garvey says store employees also accept and ship donations to local animal rescues year-round.
Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rossello says President Trump will visit the island on Tuesday. Officials say at one point the island was completely without power, and at least 10 people are dead following the storm. Erickson Diaz, a UCF student with family in Puerto Rico, says only some phone service providers can reach the island.
People that have either Claro or AT&T as their service provider can get in contact with their family members.
But he says he doesn't, and that's why he's struggling to get in contact with family members after the storm. The damage left cell service extremely weak and sent residents hunting for signal. Diaz hopes that with the help of volunteers, repairs will wrap up quickly and getting in touch will soon be easier.
Residents of Puerto Rico who attend UCF are now eligible for in-state tuition. University officials announced Wednesday that the eligibility will last through this semester and the following. The most recent census showed Orlando competing with New York for the largest Puerto Rican population in the U.S. UCF officials reported 120 students are listed as residents of the island.
In other news, a recent study by the American Psychological Association reveals that nearly 70% of gay Latino men who come out during college received negative feedback from someone close to them. Reporter Brianna Voles talked to members of Orlando's LGBTQ community about the statistic.
At the beginning,
Carlos Diaz remembers his mother's reaction to his coming out 9 years ago. She's since come around and even knows his partner now, but you can see through Diaz's artwork that it was often a roller coaster identifying as not only gay, but a Latino man from a religious family.
You know what, can be both, or I'm none, or I'm a guy who likes guy, or whatever. It became a fight with yourself and with the entire country.
He says even after coming out, those fights don't end, which is why he's not surprised that 68% of gay Latino college men surveyed reported facing similar criticism following their honesty. 19-year-old Ishmael Perez says he had support in his coming out just over a year ago, but as a gay Latino man himself, he's heard stories that support the statistic.
Still, times where I've heard from friends that they came out and they had stuff thrown at them. They said, "You can't practice that in my house. I don't want my child to go to hell."
Some parents are unaccepting.
It's either you change or you're out of the house.
Motivated to make a difference, Perez serves as membership coordinator of Q Latinx. The organization, founded after the Pulse tragedy, embraces the LGBTQ Latinx community. Members say the support encourages those who feel they need to hide who they are because of a statistic to instead find the resources they need to challenge it. In Orlando, Brianna Voles, UCF Nightly News.
National Pride Month is just around the corner, and some of those resources are available right here on UCF's campus. You can visit the Multicultural Student Association in the Union or Pride Commons for more information.
Tiff, so I got out of the car this morning and instantly started sweating. Is it from all the humidity? Can you tell us, is there going to be any relief today from all the heat?
Hakeem, unfortunately there is not. And actually, you should probably grab an umbrella. So currently we're at 88 degrees. Humidity is also at 88%. Winds are at east-northeast between 5 and 10 miles per hour, and there's a chance of rain for 40%. But I will have more with weather later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, students around Memory Mall pay their respects to lost lives.
Plus, Sunrail officials are looking for ways to increase safety after recent pedestrian deaths. What one Sunrail passenger believes the real issue is.
Also ahead, why health experts say energy drinks could be hurting your long-term health when we come back.
It's probably your glasses.
That last one?
September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. UCF Counseling and Psychological Services hosted the Be Aware, Show You Care flag exhibit. I went out to Memory Mall to see how students are doing their part to promote awareness for suicide prevention. Messages of hope were scattered across the fields of Memory Mall as students planted flags in memory of the lives lost to suicide. Counseling and Psychological Service counselors estimates that almost 1,100 college students commit suicide every year. Teresa Chemalier, Associate Director of Outreach and Community Intervention for CAPS, says that their services are always available to those who ask for it.
Yes, I'm struggling, being really authentic with what the own struggle is, but then saying, I need help, I want to live, and then being able to provide a resource that helps others find that resource to reach out and ask for help.
A study from the American Association of Suicidology shows suicide claims over 800,000 lives each year. They say that suicidal behavior affects people of all ages, genders, races, and religions. Students can grab a flag, write a positive message, and plant it here in the fields of Memory Mall to promote suicide prevention awareness. Kate Williams, a master's student in mental health counseling, says that she hopes the positive messages written by other students can help those who may be struggling.
Suicidal thoughts are treatable. They are, you can comfort somebody who's going through something like that and direct them to professionals who be able to help them.
Williams says that media like hip-hop artist Logic's song about suffering from depression helps those feel more comfortable admitting they need help. Counselors at CAPS encourage those who may be suffering with depression or suicidal thoughts to make an appointment and speak to a professional who can provide support. The suicide hotline is also available 24/7 and can be reached at 1-800-273-8255.
Safety at Sunrail stations is increasing after several incidents involving pedestrians. Sunrail officials say the station is increasing the number of security guards and adding chain link fencing. UCF student David Delgado often rides Sunrail trains. He says there are a couple reasons why accidents occur.
I would think it's largely due to pedestrians not paying attention, but it also could do with maybe the signaling or the sound of the train isn't loud enough.
Delgado says it's important for people to pay more attention to their surroundings. He says that people are more focused on getting across the tracks than being safe. Sunrail officials say they will continue to work with the law enforcement officers to increase pedestrian safety around the tracks.
A new grant is helping students who are on their way. The UCF Completion Grant is a new limited-time grant opportunity for students in their last semester who exhausted all of their financial aid. The maximum award is $1,000 and the funds will be determined by a student's FAFSA. The determination of eligibility will not be made until after the tuition deadline on October 27th.
We're approaching midterms and energy drinks can be found around campus to help students study. But those drinks can affect students' sleep schedules. Reporter Crystal Ruiz shows other ways students can keep their energy levels up while keeping their caffeine intake down.
When there's only so many hours in the day, students like Sarah Mitchum turn to energy drinks to keep them going.
But I do usually have them about 5 times a week.
The health and science major spends her time studying in the library and says she turned to energy drinks in college when coffee wasn't cutting it.
I still needed something that was easy on the go and something with a little bit more of a kick.
A new study from the Dietitians Association of Australia states students who drink energy drinks sleep less than students who don't. Dr. Jamin Brombaugh, a urologist at Orlando Health, says energy drinks cause bad habits and students can become dependent on it.
So when you don't get it, you may get excessive fatigue, feeling really tired, or you may even get headaches from the withdrawal. So the short-term gain is not worth the long-term problems.
The study also shows students tend to go to sleep after 12 a.m. and have an anxiety sleep pattern. The next time you feel like popping open one of these, Dr. Brombaugh recommends that you get up, get out, and get your body moving. Mitchum says she would drink 1 to 2 energy drinks a day if she had a lot to do.
So usually when I'm pulling that late night cram session or whatever it is, that's when I'll reach for the second one.
Mitchum hopes not to pop open energy drinks in the future. In Orlando, Crystal Ruiz, UCF Nightly News.
Dr. Brombaugh suggests if students need a pick-me-up, they should turn to black coffee. The chemicals in energy drinks cause students to crash, and they will feel even more tired than before.
Last week, we introduced you to our newest nightly news segment, hoping to bring some positivity to your day. It was great seeing some stories that can make us laugh and put a smile on our faces. Reporter Brianna Voles is in the studio for this week's edition of Positively Nights.
Thank you guys, that's right. Friday is finally here, and if that's not enough to brighten your afternoon, we've got some stories that should do the job. Not only is it Friday, but according to Starbucks, it's also National Coffee Day. The coffee company wasted no time tweeting this picture at 5 a.m. so you could get an early start. But why drink 1 cup when you can have 2? To help you celebrate, Dunkin' Donuts is offering a free medium hot coffee with the purchase of 1 medium or larger cup. And UCF police have no trouble catching criminals, but snakes are a different story. Check out this video they tweeted last Friday after a snake slithered into the station. Success! It took some bravery, but they finally caught the creature. And shout out to this night for using her semester in Puerto Rico to bring students here in Orlando some peace of mind. Nightly Latino spoke with Monica Martinez earlier this week, who says she's been bridging the communication gap between students from Puerto Rico and their families still on the island. Martinez has been sending them pictures and other updates about their hometowns. Great job, Monica. We know how important communication is, especially during these devastating times. And if you're a football fan or even just a fan of Coach Frost, don't miss this. Coach Scott Frost is making an appearance on ESPN's College Game Day before tomorrow's big game. You can catch that bright and early at 9 a.m. And finally, Nighthon officials announced their unique goal this week. Instead of a dollar amount like it usually is, they left slots blank for the reveal, asking Knights to leave their own legacy. They say they can't wait to see that legacy, and we can't either. Keep doing what you're doing for the kids, and good luck fundraising. And that's all we have for today, Knights. The weekend is here. Let's make it a great one. Back to you guys at the desk.
Next, we'll tell you what the weather will look like for the rest of the weekend.
Plus, the beach has been fairly dangerous for swimmers lately. The recent weather conditions are making life-threatening rip currents, what some officials say you should do in order to stay safe at the beach, when we come back.
It's officially fall, but here in Central Florida, the sun is still out and the weather is perfect for the beach. But dangerous riptides could put a damper on your next beach day. I found out how beachgoers can have fun while staying safe from the dangerous riptides. During hurricane season, the waves are big and the current is strong at beaches across Florida. NOAA reports that 77 surfers, 50 in Florida alone, are dead because of rip currents this year. But those rough currents won't stop beachgoers like Caitlin Stevens from relaxing near the waves.
So I've been coming to the beach every day only because I'm on my vacation right now.
During hurricane season, the waters start to stir and the waves that many beachgoers love to ride can sweep them away. Captain Tammy Marris of the Volusia County Beach Safety Patrol says a great way to stay safe is to be prepared.
You're in front of that lifeguard tower. That's the first thing. Swim with a buddy. Don't ever go in the water alone. If you have children, don't ever let the children go in the water alone. Captain
Marris also says Beach Patrol is fully staffed on days where rip currents are strong. They also fly a red flag to show wave conditions being the most dangerous. Stevens says she is now on high alert for rip currents while enjoying her fun in the sun.
I just kind of know my limits, you know. I don't go out too far. Once I start noticing the waves getting really, really big and powerful, that's when I kind of head back in towards the shore.
Captain Marris says during the summer, lifeguards can save on average up to 200 people a day. Safety officials are averaging around 12 rescues right now. If you're caught in a rip current, Marris recommends you to do one of two things. Either swim parallel to the shore until the rip current passes, or paddle in place and alert a lifeguard. Marris warns swimmers should never panic or try to swim back to the shore during a rip current.
Tiff, I know Hakeem and I are going to be at the game Saturday night cheering on our UCF Knights. What kind of weather can we expect to have out there?
It looks like you are going to have a hot weekend ahead, Chris. Let's go ahead and take a look. So Tallahassee, we have 95 degrees. Jacksonville's at 92, Tampa's at 90, Orlando's at 91, and Miami is at 83 for our highs. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our lows. For our lows, Tallahassee's at 72, Tampa's at 75, Jacksonville's at 75, Orlando is at 75, and Miami is at 79. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. So for Saturday, we can expect 88 degrees as a high with 76 as a low and a 60% chance of rain. For Sunday, we will have a high of 87, a low of 75, and a 50% chance of rain. For Monday, our high will be 85, our low will be 73, and we will have a 60% chance of rain. For Tuesday, our high is 85 with a low of 74 and a 50% chance of rain. Wednesday, our high will be 85, our low will be 72, and we'll have a 40% chance of rain. Also, we're keeping our eye on a potential storm developing in the Caribbean. We will keep watching it and update you as soon as we know. That's all we have for weather, guys. Back to you at the desk.
After the break, the Orlando Pride is making noise in the National Women's Soccer League.
Plus, Scott Frost and the UCF Knights football team is looking to keep the ball rolling as the team seeks to stay undefeated. We'll find out why Coach Scott Frost is excited about his squad going up against the Memphis Tigers. Stay with us.
Good afternoon, Knights. I'm Diana Fuentes, and here's a quick look at what's happening in sports this week. UCF filed a lawsuit over defects to the football stadium. The university is holding companies involved in building the stadium accountable for their role in creating premature wear of steels. Campus officials said the stadium is requiring more maintenance than it should for its age and use. And after a big win against Maryland last week, okay, that's all we have for sports now. We're tossing back to the desk.
That's all the time we have now. Thanks for checking in with us. You can see us daily on our weekly webcast and check back in next week. Have a great weekend.